was loud. It smelled funny, but you loved it. We all loved our first car. Animate and share your first car story at firstcarstory.com, courtesy of the 2012 Subaru Impreza. Experience love that lasts.
I got a phone call as I was in the back room hiding, taking the cover, and started screaming, of course. My husband drove 80 miles an hour to get here, and when he got here, there were a couple of firemen that had gotten here first, John Gunning, Josh Allen. They were pulling her out at that point, and they put her in the back of my husband's truck and took her over to the hospital. She said she flew in the air and then landed on top of this huge pile here with one dog, and then about 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, we found the second one.
Okay today?
She's okay. She's got injuries, but she's going to be just fine. She fared a lot better than what it looked like she would, and a lot better than what a lot of people did. So we're thankful.
I was just getting ready to try to call my mother when my daughter called me and said, "Have you talked to Mama yet?" And no, I was just getting ready to call her. She said, "Well, I've tried to call her already, can't get an answer." And then she was telling me about the strip mall over here. See all that rubble over there that was flattened. And of course, knowing where she lived in relation to that, I didn't even try to call. I just told my wife, I said, "Get your shoes on, we're going to town." And just slightly over 24 hours ago, I made to walk down this drive, and you see what I seen. To say the least, it was pretty frightening. You know, knowing that my mother was in that building that used to be there, you know. So it was pretty scary thought, pretty scary feeling. Police officer stopped me and asked me what I was doing, you know, because obviously they were already trying to make sure people didn't need me in here or in here. And so my mother lived in what used to be right there, and pointed at it. And he asked me what her name was, and I told him. He said, "Well, you're luck. She's in this ambulance right here beside you." She was already.
So they had already found her.
So they had already found her. So that was a relief in itself. A good friend of mine that lost his mother was also one of the deceased here, living in one of the other apartments that was blown away over there. Approximately 2 hours later, they still hadn't found his mother. She was out here in the rubble somewhere. They still hadn't found her. So, you know, he had to endure that, which had to have been worse than what I was going through, even though my mother passed. That had to be worse. Had to be. So.
The Blue Bomber.